Hi and welcome back to Classic MGB. Now, today we've got a product review and it's an interesting one because it purports to do everything that other products that I have already do. Let me explain. So I have a DeWalt compressor which helps me sort my tyre pressures out. That was about £120. I also have a Nocco jump starter pack and that was £150. So we're up to well over 250 quid to do those two things. One of them also has a torch and one of them will actually allow you to be used as a USB power pack as well. Product we're looking at today is from GREPRO, or GREPRO, not sure how you pronounce it, and it purports to do everything that I've talked about. And do you know the best thing? It's just 50 quid. Now, I find that difficult to believe, so let's delve into it. The company produces three different variations of this product. There's the GP196, the GP181, and this one, which is the top of the range GP383. The full specs are in the description below. Basically, further up the range you go, the more capacity the battery has. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's basically the gist of it. So let's have a look at this new product. First of all, it comes in a nice solid case. It's interesting. The Nocco, which cost 150 quid, came in this like cloth bag, which is like, really? For that sort of thing, you know, you want to keep it solid. So this is nice, looks reasonably waterproof, a little pocket on the back. So I can see that sitting comfortably in the back of the MGB. So let's open it with Velcro. So let's see what we've got. First of all, we've got the connector, which allows you to connect the unit to your battery. Again, we'll be looking at this actually with the car in a bit, so bear with me. Put that there. We've got a charging cable. The battery charges. It takes a while because it's a big battery. Take a few hours to charge, but it will charge through a standard USB cable, which is really handy. So anything that you've got that charges USB, it will charge this power pack up. And one of the things they say is when you get it, that you should always charge it to 100%. It needs to be charged to 100% in order for it to be able to restart a car or start a car. The compressor is multi-use as well, so it comes with various different adapters so you can pump up basketballs and that kind of thing, as well as bicycles. So open that up, and inside here we've got the tube which connects the unit to your tyres for your tyre pressures, and finally the unit itself. So this is the unit. It's heavier than you think it is actually, because I guess because it's got a battery in it, but it is very, very simple to operate, and the instructions, which I'll dig out, are really quite comprehensive, and it's quite unusual for a Chinese product actually to have fairly comprehensible English instructions. Often they're in a little bit of pidgin English, so this was a good surprise really. So let's have a look at the unit itself. It's really, really very simple. There's a display which I'll come on to when I switch it on. There's a socket on the side to allow you to connect your charging point. There's a socket on the back, on the side, which allows you to connect your tyre pressure thing. There's also a USB-C input for charging and a USB-A output, so you could use this to charge your phone. Pretty handy really. Very useful little device to have in the car anyway, really, you know, if you need to charge your phone or whatever. So let's switch it on and I'll try and talk you through some of the features. So switching it on, you press the power button and hold it for a little while, and it will then go into the mode that you last left it in, which is quite handy. And normally that is the tyre pressure, or the compressor mode, I should say. Now, one of the slightly strange things is most compressors I've seen allow you to switch between kPa, bar and PSI. And this one does, but it doesn't do it in quite the way you'd expect. So if this little button here toggles between the different modes. So for example, the first one is bar, and it suggests 2.5 bar, which is quite interesting. So it's sort of suggesting what pressure setting it should be. And if you look at it, there's a little kind of car icon. You probably can't see that on this screen, but there's a little car icon. Pressing it again takes you to a different SUV type mode, which again suggests a pressure setting. Pressing it again takes you to the bicycle mode, and this changes to PSI. Now, I should say that you can change the pressure. It just seems a slightly weird way of going about it. It doesn't really cause any problem, although we'll see when we actually get onto the car. But if I wanted, for example, to set my tyre pressures to 32 PSI, I'd just do that and I could press start. I'm not going to now because it makes a racket, and we're going to do that with the car anyway. So that's the pressure side. The jump starting bit will demonstrate properly on the car. The only other thing to have a look at is the torch. There's a very convenient little torch which starts off a normal mode. It then goes into like an SOS flashing mode, and then a slower SOS flashing mode, and then another press switches it off. So it's a pretty neat unit, and if it does everything that it promises to, it's a fantastic bargain at just £50. But of course, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, so it's time to get to the garage and actually put this thing through its paces. Okay, so we're in the garage now, and the masochist that I am, I've actually flattened the battery of my MGB to test this. So if I try to turn the ignition key, there's absolutely nothing there. So next step is to connect the jump starter and see if it actually starts the car. So here we are around the back of the car. I've opened up the hatchback, I've opened up the boot, and one thing you'll notice is that I have a single 12-volt battery, which is unusual for MGBs. Most have two 6-volt batteries. If you're going to use one of these things with the two 6-volt batteries, you've got to make sure you put the positive of the red connector onto the positive terminal of one of the batteries and the negative onto the negative terminal of the other battery, so you get the full 12 volts across those two batteries. As I said, mine's a single 12 volts, so very simple. I've got the red clamp on the positive and the black clamp on the negative. Now, if we have a look on the actual unit that plugs into the main unit, there's two lights. There's a green and a red light. The green light means everything's ready to go. If we saw the red light, there'd be some sort of problem. So I think we're ready to go. There is a boost button as well, which I will press, and let's go and start the car. So here we go, the power pack is connected, fingers crossed. Now what I'm going to do, because I'm going to hopefully it'll start, I'll start the car and then I'll probably switch it off fairly quickly, because otherwise you won't hear a word of what I'm saying. So here we go, it's all looking good. The lights, there's some lights on, the voltage is saying it's pretty good. Let's see if it starts. Hey! Well, that is fantastic news. It's clearly started the car. So just got to disconnect things at the back now and we're good to go. And I'm very glad we've actually switched the engine off, because I'm about a foot away from the exhaust pipe, so I'd probably gas myself. So to disconnect this, normally you do this obviously with the engine running. So the first thing they suggest is you disconnect from the unit itself and then carefully disconnect the clamps. And there you have it. That's as simple as that to jump start the car. It's probably taken a bit out of the battery though. So let's see how it does pumping up the tyres. Okay, so we're ready to inflate a tyre, see if it actually works. I've actually connected the hose ready to go, and I've taken some air out of the tyre just to see whether it inflates it. So we'll undo the dust cap. Now, I need two hands for this. So put the unit on and squeeze it on. So nice positive feel. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and inflate this tyre to 30 psi. So powered up. Now it's saying it's got 21 psi. So it's actually showing the reading here, which is really handy. And one of the things, as I said earlier, it does have those 4 funny settings, but one clever thing, it does actually remember the last setting you used. So if you used a psi, it will stay like that. So what I'm going to do now is press the plus button to go up to 30 psi and start the compressor. And there you go. After that racket, I have actually sped up that sequence because that probably took about a minute or so. So it's now at 30 and it's automatically stopped. It hasn't got too warm. So I think that was actually a complete success. To go 10 psi in that time is pretty good, and probably about the same as my DeWalt one. So as I said, for 50 quid, that's a good bargain. So there you go. That's the GREPRO jump starter stroke inflator, and I have to say it works very well. It does what it says on the tin, and for 50 quid, that's remarkable value. One other thing, the company are offering until the end of September 2025 a 10% discount on Amazon. So all the details are in the description below, and if you use that link, it is actually an affiliate link. You'll pay the same price, but I'll get a little bit of money if you choose to buy one of these things. One other thing I should say is that they did actually give me this product rather than me having to pay for it, but all the views in the video are my own. If you've enjoyed the video, just give it a like, give it a share, and click the bell for notifications. That would be fantastic. And of course, we'd always appreciate a subscription to the channel. As always, many thanks for watching, and take care.